All right, guys, let's start getting into this thing. People are going to keep piling in, but I think we have enough to get started. So first of all, hello everybody. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to come to our webinar. I see a lot of familiar faces here, so it's good to see that. But yeah, today's a pretty cool day. As you guys know, version 0.5.2 was released not so long ago. And this is a pretty big milestone in our entire operation here. This is something that we've been working on for a long time. And Michael's going to share a lot more about kind of what this entails and allows us to do and what we're going forward. So I'm going to stop talking and let Michael take over from here.
Hey guys, yeah, as Vlad said, a lot of familiar faces. Thank you for joining again. So let me start with kind of overview for the ones that are more new for OpenFrame and Flamingo. So the idea behind, so first a little bit about myself. So that's my second startup. I started a cybersecurity company around 10 years ago in the vulnerability remediation space. This is kind of where I got introduced to the MSP space. I started the research behind Flamingo around 18 months ago. And we raised our pre-seed funding at February last year, and now we're raising another funding round. We raised $2.2 million to build out the initial product, and now we're gonna raise more money in order to build the best product for you guys. All of our VCs are US based, and we headquarter here in Miami. So what is Flamingo is all about? So when I was in my previous company, I was working with MSPs, and what I could see is that MSPs, they have pretty interesting business model. Like you guys take a bunch of off-the-shelf products, you package them, you pre-configure them, and then you resell them to your clients. Obviously, you need to provide onboarding, support, etc., either 9 to 5 or 24/7. But a lot of this revenue is going out as vendor payouts, and a lot of the rest of the revenue is going out for first level technicians, second level technicians, etc. And what I could see at Vicarious, which is what my previous company was, is that some MSPs are starting to switch off to open source some parts of their infrastructure. So let's say that they're reselling something like Ping Identity or One Identity or Okta, whatever IAM tools they were using, they were switch it off to something like Authentic or Keycloak or build their own implementation of open source tools. And for that specific product, they could increase the margin to almost 100%. Now, that could be done as a one-off, but it was kind of hard to do it for an entire product. And I was not even sure that like one can build an entire IT and security product that is purely built on open source. And this is kind of was my idea. So I said, okay, if MSP can take some parts of his infrastructure and shift it off to open source, can someone build a complete IT and security stack that is all built on top of open source solutions? Of course, mitigating security problems, compilation, code scanning, etc. And this is kind of where we started from. So we started from OpenMSP platform and Slack community, which basically presented the research that I did. So I did like 7 months of research even before I raised the first dollar to the business. And I just took all the commercial products, like there are the top 19 different categories that you guys mostly commonly use to serve your customers, highlighted the top commercial products, and also what are the open source tools that can be a good replacement for them. So if you'll go to openmsp.ai, you will see that for every commercial tool, we'll have the open source alternative. And we also created a pretty interesting metric of how this open source project is popular, how many commits it has on GitHub, how much it's being discussed on MSPs, communities on Reddit. So we created some sort of ranking for those open source tools, and we curated the 19 top tools, and we slowly integrating that. So we started from the most impactful ones for combination with AI, and as time goes by, we will integrate more and more until we'll have everything that you guys need to run your business. Obviously, there's some stuff that we simply cannot replace, like Office 365 or or Google Workspace. So for that, we'll build deep integrations in order to streamline things like onboarding, offboarding, provisioning of accounts, and things like that. The product, we have two packages for the product. So the first one is OpenFrame Core, is the tooling. It's completely free and open source. You can go on our GitHub repository, and we have a separate repository for our command line. It's OpenFrame-CLI. So all of our repositories are under Flamingo-Stack. Our main repository is OpenFrame OSS tenant, and the main repository, if you want to deploy it on your own, is OpenFrame-CLI. All of the tools that we're integrating. So right now we have Mesh Central, Tactical RMM, OS Query, and FleetMDM. All of those tools, we fork them, we create our own version, we code scan them, and the binaries that you guys deploy, once our agent is getting deployed, we install a bunch of other tools. All of them are signed by us. So that's our versions of those tools. It's not some Joe Schmo that compiled it on his own and is trying to, I don't know, mine Bitcoins on your computers. So that's kind of the tooling piece of OpenFrame, which is open source and free. Maybe before I go to, actually, let's finish with this. Okay, so and the second part, which is available only on our commercial offering, is the AI component. So we took all of those tools that we have. So right now, the 4 ones that we have, but in the future, we're going to integrate things like backup. We're going to integrate things like identity and access management, even EDR. We want to have our own version of EDR. All of those tools comes with pre-baked access to 2 AI agents. One AI agent called Faye. Faye is the agent that is the chat. So once you get our client deployed to your customers' machines, you will have a native app for Faye. And Faye, you can think of her as a help desk, level 1 support. Remove this, my computer is slow, deploy this, deploy that. And we have another AI agent that is in the dashboard, which is Mingo. Mingo acts in 2 ways. The first one, he can help you resolve tickets that Faye is struggling with. We'll show it in a second on the dashboard. And the second thing, he acts as your assistant for anything you need in terms of massive deployments, checking things across the board, pulling files, running scripts, whatever you guys need from management perspective on the backend, like nothing that is related to a specific client. Both of them have guardrails, so you can define when to ask. Like, for example, if Faye wants to do something, when she should ask permissions from you, or when she's always authorized, or when she's always blocked. Same with Mingo. Mingo also have guardrails. It's not going to just run and destroy your client's infrastructure. So it's all guardrail, and you can configure the guardrails on your own, or you can use one of our pre-baked policies. This slide is a bit outdated. I will show exactly where is the most updated things when it's in regards to our roadmap and feature request. But in general, we split the product into 3 generations, and we took those 19 different categories and we put them on a roadmap. So the Gen 1, which is already out, MDM, RMM, remote access, user management, unified dashboard, and for the commercial version, Faye, Mingo. We also finished a bunch of stuff here. So Azure SSO and Office 365 SSO, they're already part of that. And we're trying to be super adaptive to your guys' feedback. So if you're part of OpenMSP Slack community, or you'd ever open the ticket with us through the chat inside the platform, you will see that we immediately added to our backlog, and then we prioritize it based on the amount of people that ask for it. So we're trying to be very, very adaptive to your feedback. We're still on beta, and that's kind of the purpose of this whole thing: stabilize the product, make it very good, and just receive the feedback that you guys wanna see in the product. Now let me show you where is the most updated information. So yeah, if you'll go to our website. So we have here 3 categories. We have here a roadmap and releases. And inside we have 3 categories. We have the roadmap. So that was released on Q3, Q4. That's the recent release, and this is Q1. This is what we want to add this quarter. So this quarter, the major two things that we're going to add this quarter is PSA and knowledge management. So you will be able to add any sort of configuration to your customers. You will be able to add user-based knowledge documents, etc. And for the extended PSA, you will have you're just going to have a full-fledged ticketing system with a baked-in chat. Like the chat is going to be one way to open tickets. So you see, like for some of the things, you can even see our designs for it. Like this is actually coming out pretty. This screen is coming out like in the next release, like not the upcoming one, the one afterwards. For enhancements and bug fixes. So as I said before, like many times you're gonna contact me and I'm gonna just give you a link, and the link is gonna contain something like this. Like you're just gonna see it's gonna look like this. You have the ID of the task at the end, and then you will be able to track the progress of it. So this is kind of how we manage it, how we manage the product releases, etc. If you'll go to product release, and we also publish it on OpenMSP, you will see for every release a video summary and all the roadmap items and the related bugs and enhancements that we released for that release. So that's the release Vlad was talking about. That's 0.5.2. Let's go back to the presentation. Okay, so you can see that we're trying, like even just from this slide, you can see that we have pretty big vision in terms of product. We actually want to be your only product when it comes to the software that you're using and the AI. Yeah, so we extended. Yeah, so a lot of you guys asked me about pricing because of the fact that we just released the AI. It's kind of hard for us to estimate what's the proper pricing for it. Also, different modules have different pricing that we pay for the underlying LLM models. I'll tell you this for the tooling part, we want to be at least 50% cheaper than whatever you pay today. So if you pay, I don't know, $2-3 per RMM and you stack on top of it a bunch of other tools, we want to be 50% lower than this. In a short, we're looking to make money more from the AI component rather than the tooling piece, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I'll stop here and I will open it for questions. And if there are no questions, I will move directly to the demo. Any questions, guys? No. Okay. So I have my OpenFrame dashboard right here. So for the ones, there's a question. I sign up, but it looks like the access was removed. Oh yeah, so we got a pretty high bill for our cloud expenses recently, and we've ran out of credit, so we got extremely high cloud bills. So we had to keep on the system only the active users, so users that had access to the product, but didn't have any users or they didn't log in for extensive period of time. We send emails and we ask to either like start using it or we will have to shut it down. So we shut down a bunch of clusters, and just to give you understanding of how it works behind the scene, for each of you guys, there is a separate cluster, meaning that you have your own VPC inside of our Google Cloud GCP. So it's pretty expensive for us to maintain it. So if we see that there is no activity, we can't really learn from, we can really learn from the beta. So we have to kind of give space to ones that are more engaged. I also had issues deploying RMM with PowerShell. So Abu Nayhan, are you part of the Open Slack community? Or yes, okay, great. So first, we're mostly available on OpenMSP. And if not, there is also this here. Actually, you don't have access to the product. So just contact us on OpenMSP if you don't have access to the product. If you're willing to deploy at least 10 devices, Vlad will provide you will re-provide you the access, and you will be able to register. Again, like the product, like we're releasing versions on a weekly basis. So if you had problem with deployment, I don't know when you were checking it, it's probably resolved by now, hopefully. So please feel free to reach out to Vlad, and in general, you can always contact us on OpenMSP if you don't have dashboard access. If you do, you can also do it from here. Okay, cool. So let me kind of take you through the more basic things that you can do in the product. So first thing, once you get your clients deployed, you can add organizations. This is kind of our version for multi-tenancy. And in the future, we also want to add billing. So you will also be able to bill your customers through here. That's why you will see things like monthly recurring revenue and things like that. And then once you go to devices, you have here add device. Once you add a device, you have ability to choose which organizations this device is going to be part of, and then we will basically just add it here. And then once the device is going to get deployed, he will already be associated with this organization. This is kind of a view of a single device. So you see here that we have a bunch of information. Actually, this thing. Patching and policy and compliance, all these things are going to be much more enhanced next week. And this is the underlying agents that we use. So if you remember before, I was saying that all of the tools that we download and use, they are signed and there are versions. So all of those FleetMDM, Tactical RMM, Mesh Central, and that's our chat, they're all our versions, and they're all signed by us. And we even manipulate their code in order to be aligned with our authentication mechanism. So there's a pretty high scrutiny of security. You can also see that if you're going to go to our Flamingo stack on GitHub, you will see that all of them are forked and we build them there. You also have a software listing here, vulnerabilities if exist, and logs. We'll touch in a second about the logs. You also have here a bunch of things that you can do live on the machine. So PowerShell, CMD. You can also pull and push files. See here, I know that a bunch of you really like the remote control. So also the remote control is pretty solid. Works pretty fast. We commonly get pretty good feedback on it. And now, a lot of the things that happens here, they send a bunch of logs in different formats. But what we did is we kind of build our own SIM where we ingest the logs directly from the databases of the tools that we're using. We reformat them and we streamline them into a single location under single format. So in the future, our AI agents are not going to be able only to be reactive, like either a user is complaining about something or you go and open Mingo session. It will also be able to find anomalies based on the logs that we have. So this is kind of our plan for the EDR. The EDR will be based on the logs that we're collecting, and we're constantly adding more data collectors. For example, something like Fluently. We're also going to have Chocolatey and Brew as part of our software. So there's just a lot of different data points that are going to be ingested into one place. We also have scripts. I have to say that the script is going to complete redo, and you're going to have here, it's going to be changed into policies. So you're going to be able to define monitors. You will be able to chain scripts. You will be able to define checks, run OS queries, and things like that. Right now, it doesn't even have the schedule component, which will be released next week. So this is kind of, I think this is kind of, maybe I'll check this, show you guys the settings a bit. So the architecture, I told you before, you get your own cluster, pretty isolated. Users, you can use our own user management, or you can just configure your own SSO, or you can use our generic SSO, and if you click here, auto provision accounts, if you have multiple technicians, if I'll check this box, if they will try to log in to OpenFrame, they will immediately get access to your dashboard. So let's say that you have 10 different technicians. You don't need to add them. You just need to tell them to log in with SSO to OpenFrame, and they will get access immediately. We have you can generate API key. We also have API documentation here. I think that's it for the tooling piece. Any questions about the tooling stuff?
Garrett had a question in the Q&A. He said, I thought you said FleetMDM is integrated, but I don't see it installed on Agent's Mac or PC.
No, it is. It's here. FleetMDM? It's here.
Yeah.
Fleet comes with, so in our latest version, like Fleet is coming with bundled OS query, not under my engine. So maybe something is blocking it. Maybe something is blocking it for you. We will have to check it. There are if you'll go to devices, you'll see here that you have, for example, Orbit is the FleetMDM folder. So if you're running like CrowdStrike or Sentinel-1 or whatever, it might be blocking it. Cool. What, Vlad, by the way, where do you see the Q&A? I don't see it here.
On the bottom, it says Q&A.
Yeah, I see it here. Okay, cool. Yes, I see that's the only question. Okay, so let's move to the AI piece. Okay, so let's start with the dashboard. With Faye, I'm sorry. So that's my Windows machine. It's connected to my dashboard. You can see it here, Tech IT. And you have a bunch of things here that you can do. But let's start with something simple. So Faye is starting to execute stuff. She's probably gonna run, she's running tactical RMM script. I know that you guys probably be freaking out about AI running stuff on your customer's environment, but that's exactly why we have the AI settings. So if we'll go here, you will see that you can choose the LLM model. We had some problems with Google specifically, so we're gonna remove it and gonna create a curated list of the AI models. But you have here different policies, and what those policies mean is that for each of the functionalities of the PowerShell specifically here, or even wget and curl if you talk about Linux and Mac, you can. This is our pre-baked policy. But if you will click on use for custom policy, you can very granularly define how do you want it to be executed. Do you want to be always allow? Do you want to ask the user? So it will prompt the user, do you allow me to do this and that? Ask technician or restrict. So you have 4 levels. And if we'll go here, we will see this is updating live, meaning that once the user is starting to run all the, like he's asking fake question, you will see it live updating here. It's working pretty good. It's pretty fast. And the nice part here is that I have Mingo session here. If I will ask Mingo about what's going on in the ticket, he will have the full context. So you see that he's fetching all the information about this ticket. And if you will refer to him as things like this device, this ticket, this chat, Faye, the user, whatever, he will have the full context of it. So you can also run, so let's say that something is wrong in this ticket and you want to execute things directly on the device from here, you can definitely do that. For example, please check this device event log. So he will now execute. He will execute and fetch all the event log. And afterwards, you can also refer to what happened on the previous discussion on finding problems and offer mitigation pathways. So yeah, so that's my device, Michael Wynn, unexpected system crash, etc. So he's giving us a bunch of stuff from the event log. So this is kind of so this is the premature version of our ticketing system. So the chat is going to be transformed. The chat and both of those things are going to be transformed into full-fledged PSA, and that will be by the end of this quarter. And now let's go, and that's kind of our recent version. So until now we had like 2 weeks of differences between the two versions, but we had Mingo only available as a ticket assistant. Now we kind of unleashed him and we provided him a way to run independently without any scoped guardrails. So let's say that we want to have, please tell me which device are currently active. So he has access both to our internal databases and everything that you see on the dashboard, but also to all the different integrated tools. So he's telling us that we have 2 devices active. What can we do with that? Please check for Windows. It's actually for OS, because one of them is they're actually both Windows. Let's check for OS updates for those 2 active devices. Yeah, there's a Reddit post that imply automatic patching. Can you demo that? So Reddit post. It was a Reddit ad or Reddit post. We're gonna release the automated patching next week with scheduled script. Reddit ad. I don't know. Yeah, it's so you're gonna have a scheduled script next week, so you will be able to run update on a daily basis. Okay, all the clients have been installed since beginning, removed and reinstalled, and now FleetMDM now shows under agent. Okay, that's great. So so this is kind of what you can do with. So you see that he's going to take his time. He's going to execute stuff. If like we checked multiple modules, and Anthropic seems to be the most resistant one. That's why this is our default model. So if it's gonna fail on a certain command, it's just gonna keep on trying. That's why it's the default command. We and actually there is a new model that came out today, Claude Sonnet 4.6, and probably next week Claude the Sonnet. I don't know if it will call Sonnet, but Claude 5 is coming out. So we will also be sure to add it to our product. Vlad, any other things I need to touch on?
So I mean, the guys just wanted to see like more demonstrations of what Mingo can do, what they can do, like let's say use cases in real time, like things that can simplify their daily ops essentially. Anything along those lines.
Where is FleetMDM configured? So yeah. So Mingo can do basically anything that like for like right now we have tactical and fleet connected to it. So Garrett, you asked about FleetMDM configured. FleetMDM for us is currently configured as a way to execute OS query in a centralized manner. The MDM component to it is still like we have it on the back end, and we still need to implement the front end. But the MDM pure component is still not implemented. We added it mostly for its centralized OS query things, and with Mingo we can also run things like please fetch all the software. from the currently active devices. So, are you guys hiring? Good question. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so I'll need to get some, like I can send on the OpenMSP community some more prompts, more specifically for FleetMDM if you want to check it out. But in terms of like what Mingo can do is basically anything that you guys would do with scripting or querying live, you can just do it with Mingo. For example, here it tells us all the outstanding updates. We can also tell him please install them, and then it will start running those updates. Okay. How are we doing on time? So yeah, okay, makes sense. We're 90% Mac. Mac MSPs. So the Mac agent was a bit outdated in comparing to the Windows agents, but we worked a lot on it, and on the release actually tomorrow, you're gonna get a Mac agent that has pretty good support of the remote access control and Mesh Central. When will you have fully baked? I don't know what's your definition of a fully baked product. Like the tooling for remote access control for Windows mostly, and starting from tomorrow also for Mac. Remote access control, RMM, the logging piece, OS query, all of these ones have been around since October, so they're pretty stable. The product's still free and on beta, and we're still experimenting with the AI. So the AI is kind of the less stabilized, the least stabilized component in the product. But if you talk about the tooling piece, it's pretty stable, and from what we hear from customers and based on our testing, working pretty good. Can you prompt the user for reboot? Yeah. I'll prompt it. You can prompt the user for reboot in two ways. You can either do it with tactical RMM and through Mingo with tactical RMM, or you can go to Mesh Central. Mesh Central also have ability to delay reboot, to do some other stuff. I will say this: we still haven't integrated everything that we have in the system to the AI. So, for example, if you're gonna tell the AI, listen, please reboot Vlad's machine, he will activate tactical RMM because that's the tools that you have that he has right now. But soon enough, he will also have more capabilities around. Okay, I need to pull the file. I will activate Mesh Central in order to work around with a bunch of things with Fleet and with tactical RMM. We also adding so software deployment is a struggle for the AI. So we also gonna give the AI. We're also gonna bundle inside of our agent Chocolatey for Windows and Homebrew for Mac. So it will be much more streamlined when we talk about software deployment. Let's see some more. Winget, yeah. So we will check it. Like we either gonna integrate Winget or we're gonna integrate Chocolatey. Chocolatey is a bit more extendable, and if we fork it, we can add our own packages, so it's easier for us. Like if something is missing, it's easier for us to deploy more stuff. Their issue right now is after install Mac agent, it pops. Yes, Garrett, that's exactly. So the new agent is gonna prompt the user with a nice UI, and will tell him we need permissions for this, and that with OpenFrame icons, so it will look much better, and it will also be integrated much nicer on the settings, privacy policy settings on the Mac. I mean, when your customer will be comfortable to deploy in production. I think we have a bunch of customers here that deploy to production. So the question is, I mean, when your customers will be comfortable to deploy production, I don't believe it's there yet. So there are other customers here that believe it's there. Just thinking about after a Windows update, then it will need a reboot. Currently, we display a prompt. If not, otherwise it reboots in n hours. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and there's been some time from the last time I deployed the Windows update with common. I think you can I think you can provide command line arguments that during the installation will prompt the user and will give him a snooze time, but I'm not sure. Yes, for the Mac love, great webinar, really understand now. Perfect. Yeah, a big update for Mac. Like the version release tomorrow, is mostly about Mac. Our client engineer was working really hard on this. Cool. So yeah, I think if we don't have any more questions, we're gonna wrap it up. So yeah, one less. Yeah, Vlad.
Yeah, I would just say one more thing, guys, in regarding to like working with Mingo. I think there's going to be like maybe we don't have a gajillion use cases to present today, but I think as you guys kind of go around your like daily ops and have there's certain things come up, you'll find places where they will be very helpful for you. Like it's not super evident now, maybe, but you'll see it as you come across some kind of hiccups or some bumps or you need some kind of solution. The AI is pretty smart and it can help you. I don't know if you guys saw like the Open MSP chat. But one of the guys said like he was having some issues with enable, and basically Mingo was able to sort it for him. So if you guys just kind of start like testing with it, you'll see what it's able to do, and you'll see how much it's actually going to save your time. Plus, it's as we add more like PSA and things along those lines, it's going to have more and more capability. So yeah, just test it. See, I'm sure there's a bunch of use cases for every single MSP where it will be particularly valuable. You just got to play with it and figure out how it can best serve you and your particular operations.
Yeah, and if you find any sort of hurdle or there's stuff you want to do and you believe that Ming or Fake can do and it's not doing it, please tell us. Like we actually encourage that. We want you guys to tell us like, okay, I want to do this with Mingo and I'm blocked. I want to do this and it's not going well, or this is actually going very well. Like we want to hear it, so we will be able to enhance it.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. So thanks everyone for your interest. Thanks for the trust for the ones that are already deploying it, and for the ones that haven't been deploying it yet, I encourage you to do so. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
And if any of you guys need the access code, just reach out to me in Slack. We'll figure it out. Cool.
Bye.
Take care.